afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Impending. Featuring today a 1 vs 1 again on Argentan Crossorads. If you want it, look it up, Google it. But we shall be watching Magpiesflight fighting for the United States, rolling out for the 3rd Infantry, holding out against an onslaught from the 2nd Panzer Division, also known as the Vienna Division, because it was apparently originally taken from Austria as after the Anschluss there. And we are seeing a bit of a move up here. We are in fact seeing what looks to be a pretty engineer. 5 engineers start from Magpies. That is definitely irregular, to put it mildly. We'll of course have to see how it goes. It's going to be a very aggressive start. It's going to be about taking a lot of territory, getting a lot of flamethrowers, and of course, using those flamethrowers against the opponent as well as possible. And meanwhile, Freestyler, blissfully unaware of what's going to happen, is starting out with a more 2 pioneer start, more standard. Of course, he can also then get more hiccups. But if the hiccups would allow me, he can then get out more infantry to then counter the engineers. He could, in fact, reasonably well try and push towards some of Magpie's more important points, cut off a lot of the resources for Magpies. But again, that rather depends if that is what Magpies intends. He's getting 6 engineers. My God, that is definitely well beyond normal parameters of play. But let's see how it goes. Let's see how this hyper-aggressive start from Magpies using an awful lot of engineers is actually going to work out. Pioneers here finding themselves under fire from the engineers, and the pioneers end up being a bit pushed back. False Cannoneers moving up to support. Engineers sneaking about south. Engineers sneaking up there. Again, so many engineers. Again, already most of the map is quickly falling into the hands of Magpies. He's pressuring Freestyler here, there, everywhere. And now we do see the second unit. It was actually a Schwimmwagen. That can help a bit against the engineers, but it also depends that the Schwimmwagen does not get overwhelmed by the engineers and their grease guns. 1 engineer down. There we go. Engineers on the run, down to 1 man. Pushing up against the pioneers there. Engineers up here running into a problem. More engineers pushing up for Uncle Sam. We could see an engineer squad go down for Freestyler. I mean Magpies. But no. And there we go. Another engineer squad pushed away by the Schwimmwagen. There we go. Freestyler so far securing a bit of breathing space, having pretty much just mauled 4 squads of engineers, but at the same time the engineers that are remaining continue up the right hand side and they continue the harassment. And also note they continue going for the fuel. Right there, of course, this fuel has been denied. Now this one right here is also going to find itself beyond the reach of Freestyler for some time. That's definitely going to hurt Freestyler. Although again, now he's recapturing that, but nonetheless. And also note Magpies is getting a lot more fuel, and we're seeing a weapon support center now being set up to support Magpies' efforts. Definitely interesting. Engineers rising a bit up too far here, getting stopped by the Maschinengewehr bunker. Die Widerstandneste. Victory point there being secured, going for the northern one more or less at the same time. And we're seeing a supply add up for Magpies, so clearly he's not even really bothering with the weapon support center for any apparent reason. He's actually making what could look like to be one hell of an armoured rush of some kind, likely going to be armoured cars. That's definitely going to be something. That's going to be a bit of a problem right there for Freestyle, although again, he's currently going to be lacking the fuel for the motor pool. Then the Greyhound, on the other hand, he's still holding most of the fuel, and he's even building an observation post. This is absolutely irregular play from Magpies, though again, he is known for that. He's very much known for not playing by the book, not playing by the rules. He plays by his own rules. He's a rogue cop, a loose cannon. I won't stand for it in my department. Anyways, pushing onwards with his engineers. And there we go, already one first flamer upgrade. We could actually see these pioneers go up in flames. No, they do get out of there before they get turned into a torch. Engineers taking losses, firing away with their grease guns somewhat ineffectually at the false cannoneers. And there we go, Freestyler is able to actually lay down some impressive amounts of firepower towards that area. Engineer actually for once dies completely for Magpies. He's down to 5 squads, but still, that is still an awful lot. And the Schwimmwagen here making a bit of a mistake, getting within the range of the 30 caliber Browning right there. So much pressure being applied to Freestyler, and again, this is so unordinary, so irregular you wouldn't believe it. And definitely one hell of a rush. And already there, the motor pool is going up, and we're 5 minutes into the game. He's already getting a motor pool, and I imagine that Freestyler is rather aware, because no, he's already building a click bags. He's only got a shrimp mag, 2 first guns, and an MG. Again, this is also a very light start from him, but again, he's doing so because he probably figures that all of these engineers, all of this rushing about, taking territory, no riflemen at all, rather indicates, of course, there's going to be some sort of armored car rush. So Freestyler, of course, quickly taking hit, getting the click bags to get a pack down and hopefully stop this before it ends up with a Greyhound parked in his front lawn. Definitely not your usual Company of Heroes match. This, far from it. Whoops, microphone a bit too close there, my apologies. My apologies. Still working out on that bit. And there we go, the Greyhound going up, and again, 6 minutes into the game, and we're getting a Greyhound. So again, if you want to be aggressive, you want to quickly push up the pace, then you can actually do it in Company of Heroes. Or in this case, I mean, Freestyler was able to read the signs, and there's always signs of this, you know, the quicker pace, the quicker teching. And again, they rather largely rely on, again, no infantry. No, if you have infantry, no upgrades for them. And the less of you see that, and more, of course, of the tier before that, the more likely he's going to be skipping the one there. So, really aggressive play going on from Magpies. And there we go, a Greyhound, and not even so mentions match with the Ultra 3, the Pack 38 arriving at exactly the same bleeding time. And I imagine Magpies will also be expecting this to a certain extent. I mean, he can't have missed again. There's not an awful lot of forces coming out from Freestyler either. That he's only seeing 2 forces, because an MG and a Schwimmwagen. So I must, assuming and I'm hoping that Magpies at the same time, of course, is also aware that he's likely going to be encountering a fast pack as well. Greyhound advancing right there, needs to be careful. The course already full screen is going to move up. They're likely going to try and get off a Panzerfaust. And there we go. Pack fires away, gets off a nice hit, and the Greyhound is rather up no, but it's going to rush straight into the base of Freestyler, where it might escape. There we go. Pack misses. Going to move up. He does not have the munitions for a Greyhound mine, otherwise I imagine he would have done that. He's staying within range. He's going to try to see if he can't kill some stuff. He probably knows he's a bit in trouble up here. And there we go, second pack out. Freestyler going heavy off the Panzerabwehrkanone. Meine Herren, and there we go. Trying to sneak out, but I don't think he'll make it. No, oh, blimey, he did it. But the question is, will he continue to do so? Will he continue to do so? In fact, no, the Greyhound went out of control. A bold move right there by Magpiesflight, but sadly this bold gamble did not quite work out for him, and instead resulted in a burning wreckage for him, although already now a second armored car is out. Hopefully a bit more fortunate. At the same time, of course, he's also aware that Freestyler at the very least has 2 anti-tank guns to try and deal with this armored car rush. I mean, that's more what is interesting, because he also knows, well, Magpies largely only got infantry, so he knows he doesn't have to worry immediately about American riflemen, so the 2 Foscos, the MG and the Schwimmwagen, can largely do the trick. Although looks like we're also seeing some grenadiers up from Freestyler, so of course hopefully trying to push that advantage as well. The fact that he has more infantry than Magpies does. Greyhound getting repaired. Pack covering that bit. Might have the other pack cover this way, I suppose. Engineers encountering a wall of fire from the Germans, pulling back. Magpies overall conducting a bit of a retreat. We are factoring infantry doctrine up already as well. And within 10 minutes, I mean, the map has pretty much been split into 2. The north falling into the hands of Freestyler, the south into the hands of Magpies.
We have a secure sector.
Definitely already here being an irregular match. And there we go, the observation post of Magpies is getting spotted. Packs are advancing, and in fact they're rather far up there, so the Greyhound could actually do quite a bit of work down here south. But the Germans are advancing through the lumber yard. Vorwärts, Männer. 50 cal on the way for this one, and we are seeing the Schwimmwagen moving up within range. Trier send up for Magpies. Plenty of fuel, plenty of fuel in fact. One thing that Magpies is not lacking on particular dudes. Oh, sniper up, but we also see the Scream Mag coming in from the rear, and the sniper rushing into the barn. The old empty barn, which is now considerably less empty and might soon have a sniper corpse in it, and there we go. Had he not been shot, I'm pretty sure the sniper would have been hung from this particular beam. Since, well, generally, when snipers were found by the enemy, they tended to be not very fond of them. They rather considered them a bit unsportsmanlike. And in war, when you can find someone you consider unsportsmanlike, you tend to kill them. Either by hanging or shooting. Fun fact about war.
Our front lines are collapsing.
But a replacement sniper on the way from Magpies to quickly replace the one lost to those krauts. If I could click on Freestyler, of course I could switch over to his point of views. Resources also looking reasonably well for him. And we are seeing For the Fatherland pop up. So he's going defensive doctrine versus infantry, although he probably does not know that the doctrine is infantry for Magpies. You see nothing yet that can indicate it. And there's Volkskongress though with Fatherland inspiring them to greater fervor to shrug off the bullets. And there we go. Battle phase completed. So we're also seeing a bit of fast taking going on from Freestyle. He's ignoring the Sturm Army. He's clearly going for the Panzer Command to throw some panzers at Magpies. So again, some very interesting things going in. And again, we're talking about 11 minutes into the game. We're already going to be seeing the last tier for Freestyler. So very unusual match, very fast-paced in terms of what sort of equipment is being brought in. Engineers advancing over a broad front, actually slightly echeloned, with this one sort of skew leading the way, then another echelon of engineers, then the armor cast and the sniper, although now the engineer one echelon seems to have stopped up, while the other one advances, and the support from the Greyhound and the sniper. So definitely interesting stuff, and we're actually seeing that Magpies is going to use Rangers as infantry. Interesting. Again, irregular play, although I mean usually if you go for something like that and don't get infantry, you usually get elite infantry then to sort of fill up the role, although it is extraordinarily rare to see it in a 1 versus 1. You usually see that in a 2 versus 2 where one goes weapon supports and then later on either gets Rangers or Airborne. So, interesting. Fult's going right here, getting sniped in the face. Armor car opens up as well. Flame Rangers moving up against the Grenadiers. All the quick retreat. Fult's going to say, I actually need to get out there for the fun. Then popping up. And Fult's going to score. Actually went down for Freestyler. That was not well handled by him, I think. You need to sneak about there. Looks like the Wehrmacht is moving in, trying to perhaps catch that armoured car, but no. Gets shot instead. Grenadiers moving up, and there we go. Rangers ready. No Thompson's up, machine guns as yet. Panzerweg flying. Rangers, bazookas, everything else flying from them as well. Veterans one for the Greyhound. 7 kill. Rangers pushing forward, although straight into the MG42 set up by the Farmers Market. Sniper moving up. Armoured car pushing up, although there are packs covering this area, and apparently Magpies sends tingles, and he senses that there's something not right there, and he quickly pulls out the Greyhound. And we are seeing an Ostwind flak panzer from Freestyler. He could have gone for a Panzer IV. So the Ostwind is a bit of a curious move, but let's not ponder that one too much. And note here, actually, we are seeing that Freestyler is actually setting about blasting the house into bits. He does not want his opponent to use it. And there we go. Ostwind takes care of the Rangers with the 37mm flak cannon. Pack continues to blast away at the house, demolishing it. Also deny his opponent, of course, an observation point to rain down artillery from on him. And that was certainly not an uncommon tactic used by defenders, that is blasting away buildings that they could actually have used against them as observation posts by an attacker. Pushing up the right hand side, the Greyhound is there already. Sniper as well. And we are seeing 2 snipers up, quickly tearing through several of the Grenadiers and the Volksgrenadiers. Ostwind pushes in. And there's not an awful lot to actually stop it. There's only the Greyhound and the Rangers are definitely going to be a bit limited in their fortunes in stopping that flak panzer. Greyhound taking a few nasty shots right there. Although it looks like to be largely escaping. And we do see Magpies pushing forth. We also see Magpies delivering a small force towards the west. Pack continues to blast away at this house. Freestyler is nothing if committed. If not, never mind. Rangers are moving forwards and taking a nasty hit there from the Ostwind, which only really saw service from 1945. There were different flak panzers before that. The Gepard, or Flak Panzer 38T, there was the Wirbelwind, and before that there was the Möbelwagen, which was probably one of the more common ones. Otherwise, largely the Germans relied in fact on half-tracks to provide anti-aircraft support. Pushing forwards there, an anti-tanker now coming up from Magpies, making a good push towards the right-hand side. So far Magpies is focusing on basically keeping his front line intact and then making small forays into enemy territory to harass and possibly take some of the victory points, which are actually ticking down for him, which is less good. And we do actually now see a Panzerkampfwagen 4 rolling out from the 2nd Panzer Division's Panzer Battalion. Ostwind holding up here, getting repaired. Mine was actually set off, that was quite lucky. Panzer IV pushes forward and takes a hit from the anti-tank gun, and the Greyhound. Several bazooka rockets actually connect and do some nasty damage right there. This Panzer IV could go down, but looks like it does manage to successfully extract. Greyhound moves in, getting a full barrage from a Panzer and a Pack, taking it down to very, very little health. Of course, the house here has now utterly collapsed, a ruin, and of course someone's going to get a bit disappointed when they come back from the war and find their house has been blown to bits by one very determined German commander. And we're seeing actually a 2nd Flak Panzer out. We're also seeing a bunker gap, likely going to be a repair bunker. No veterancy though for his panzers, and he's got no Kampfkraft center. That, on the other hand, is actually a bit curious. One would imagine with that much of an armoured focus going on from Freestyler that it would at the very least get veterancy 1 and the damage reduction that follows. Looks like though he's actually sending the Flak Panzers towards Magpie's base, clearing up the infantry obstacle, the machine gun emplacement. Rangers though are quick to react, pushing up with their bazookas in hand. Ostwind exposing the rear, that's definitely not good. And anti-tank gun as well. This is not looking good for Freestyler's Flak Panzer. Another hit connects. Ostwind doing its best to get the bleeding hell out of there, but it might not succeed. Main gun destroyed. Destroyed engine, and that is pretty much it for the Ostwind, which means Eastern Wind. And there we go, the Ostwind is out of control. No more. And the meanwhile, Magpies is making a larger push up the center. Several snipers, engineers, anti-tank gun providing support. If he had a small force he could flank with on the flank west here, that would be good. That could definitely throw off Freestyler's defenses. Ostwind taking fire. Engineers basically serving as cannon fodder by the looks of things. Pioneers repairing the Ostwind are getting Sniper MG pulling back towards the repair bunker to reinforce and hold up the American advance. And veteran 1 for the Rangers, increasing their accuracy and making them slightly harder to hit. Not sure what the Greyhound is intending up there. Of course, he could consider laying down some Greyhound mines. So a bit of quiet. It looks like another Panzer IV out. Was that the original one just repaired? Hard to say, but he does finally have some veterans for it. We also see a half-track out, and we actually do see the Stuka zu Fuss being equipped for it. Well, the Wurfrahmen 40, which rather became known as the Stuka zu Fuss. Generally, though, these vehicles were generally handed out to the Panzer Pioneer Battalion. More specifically, the Armoured Company, which would have had a small heavy platoon, which would have included some of these Wolfram and Firzig equipped half-tracks to provide some heavier rocket support. Later on, though, some of the Panzer brigades also saw some usage with them in their mortar platoons, I think, or something like that.
We may now field our heavy flak batteries.
And we do see Magpies actually clearing out the hedgerows to get off a good target right there on the Panzer IV perhaps. And we are seeing the first rockets flying away, setting fire to a shed. Very close actually getting the anti-tank gun. Gets one of the gunners, but that was about it. Otherwise, mostly blows some huge holes in the road. And we are seeing a second Wolfram being equipped on a half-jack. So Freestyler definitely going heavy on the artillery, likely going to try and catch the snipers in the head with that one, I imagine. But let's return to Magpies. Now with 2 squads of Rangers. It looks like he's going in for the Panzer IV. Rockets flying away, and there we go. Several catching the Panzer IV on the rear. There we go. In fact, we could see the Panzerkampfwagen being lost. German infantry is nearby. Sniper gets one of the repair pioneers. And there we go. Half-tracks firing in. Rangers firing up, going in after the Panzer IV. And there we go. Bazookas flying. And there we go. The Panzer IV goes down. And brave assault by Magpies actually paid off and completely wrecked the Panzer IV, denying Freestyler quite some valuable armoured assets. And I do believe it's actually time for the mid-game analysis. Current situation is a bit 50-50. The victory points are in the hands of Magpies, or at least the majority are. Goddamn hiccups. But at the same time, Freestyle has certainly been taking some losses. He's lost a bit of infantry. He's lost several panzers by now. He's got an Austrian. He's got some infantry. He's got some half-tracks and packs. That's about it. And of course, he's got to worry about 2 snipers running around, constantly murdering his men. He's got greyhounds, rangers, and everything else arrayed against him. And Magpies is definitely that aggressive kind of player. So the question is, how does Freestyle actually want to arrange his defense? So far, he's rather trying to establish more of a fortified center that can more quickly strike out to support the flanks. But at the same time, Freestyle needs to advance. He needs to do some damage. He needs to, well, most likely he needs to get the snipers. He can either hope that both of the Stukas of Hus here will get off some lucky hits and completely wipe them out, or he needs to get some counter snipers out. But mostly he just needs to push out. For Magpies, on the other hand, it's about keeping out the pressure. It's about moving out here. It's about trying to flank this force so he does, may go on some head-on assaults, because that's the one thing that Freestyler's force currently can still repel quite nicely. On the other hand, it's going to be able to not react very well to some solid flank assaults, in particular if Magpies was to get a tank depot and get some Shermans and tank destroyers out. Also note he's actually lost 1 sniper, so that's not completely bad, but he's quickly replacing it, though that is less good for Freestyler. But let's return to the fight. Let's see how this goes. We already see that some minor harassment on the flanks is going on from Magpies, although it's quick to retreat, as we do see 1 Austrian being pushed out. Greyhound pushing up the centre. Needs to be careful that there is a pack nearby. 2 anti-tank guns watching over the centre. In fact, now for Magpies, nothing coming up the flank, and looks like a unit went down. The anti-tank gun crew suffered and ended up a bit dead. And more rockets end up being launched away, burning up roads, bushes, and other things that usually do not get blasted into bits, or should not. Looks like the machine gun is actually taking up position within the bunker, hoping out for some slightly higher chance of survival. Sniper sneaking forwards, and we're actually seeing a flank 88 going up for Freestyler, which is an interesting choice. I mean, we've not actually seen any armor, but apparently Freestyler is quite worried about Magpies getting armor, and thus he's actually getting a flak, but his Pioneers building and actually already getting sniped. And there we go, 1 Pioneer squad went down, Grenadiers advancing. It looks like the Rangers and Tank are moving up. Austrian moving in, getting within range. Rockets going down. And we could see, Austrian goes down, the Austrian goes down. Rangers pushing forward, sniper close to death. Anti-tank gun still firing away though. Veterans who won for the sniper almost dead, and there we go, the flak is ready. pack fires away at the Rangers. The Rangers continue their advance. Anti-tank guns firing away at the flak. And there we go. Flak knocked out by the anti-gun. And again, in this stage, it didn't really do much. Grenades on the Rangers, though, slightly pushed them away. And more rockets. Getting one of the snipers. Getting a second sniper. That was definitely good retribution right there for Freestyle. Although already now one of the anti-tank and then risking getting, oh well, half-tracks, I mean, risk getting knocked out by the anti-tank guns. Damage engine, but nonetheless managed to pull away. Now the anti-tank guns on the other hand are risking getting all the infantry support. Remove the flamethrower, yes, fighting to buy them time and are dying in the process. A heroic sacrifice right there by Magpie's flamethrower engineers. But he was not quite able to get that rocket half-track despite his best intentions, and he definitely suffered a bit of a blow by the loss of those two snipers. In fact, he's also lost all of his engineers. He's down to 2 squads of Rangers, 2 anti-tank guns, and the Greyhound. That, of course, is a bit where Magpies now is beginning to run into trouble. His force did not have a lot of durability in it, in particular all those engineers. He should at the very least perhaps consider a medic station to perhaps collect some of all those wounded and turn and actually get some infantry that way. That, I think, might actually have been more helpful to Magpies in the longer run and might have given some additional strength to punch at Freestyler with. I mean, he's doing some damage to Freestyler as well, but Freestyler's force is that much more durable, that much better at just striking back. And that, since the half-takes also paid off quite nicely. And there we go. More offensive barraging going on towards Magpie's base.
Nice work, boys.
Veterans, 2 Rangers getting the Grenadiers and pushing them away. And the off-map combat group are riding a tank destroyer, a Ranger squad, and 2 squads of riflemen. So 3 squads of Rangers, 2 squads of riflemen and a tank destroyer. That's definitely going to give Magpies quite the fighting force. That's definitely going to allow them to attack from several points. And those Rangers can definitely lay down quite a volume of rockets against the half-tracks, and for that matter any panzers that Freestyler might consider putting out on the battlefield. So the question is, of course, how will Magpies then proceed to utilize this suddenly very large and potent force he's acquired himself? That was definitely one of the better off-map combat groups he could have gotten, by the way.
Rangers here. Rangers ready.
But again, now he needs to use it. He's got it, but he needs to use it. He needs to apply the blows to the right place. And I definitely think something going on here would be the start. But apparently that's not the case. We're also seeing another Ostwind rolling out for the 2nd Panzer Division. There we go. We are seeing a full assault going on from Magpies. All the 1 tank is all close to going down. Rangers here fighting against the pack. Close to getting it, but Ostwind pulls up. German infantry fighting away. Greyhound with the main gun destroyed. Goes down to the pack. Rifleman squad pushing up the center, but that's the MG in the bunker. And there we go. Pack down. Grenadier down. Tank destroyer rolling forwards. Could try and go after that. Oh! Tank destroyer got both of the Pioneers. Anti-tank gun pushing up. Bunker getting blasted. Tank destroyers likely going to try and get the Ostwind. Rangers taking heavy losses. Rockets firing away. Artillery going down on the repair bunker. Folks getting murdered by bazookas. Tank destroyer very close to getting the Ostwind. Very close. Rangers continue their assault. And basically just a full-on assault. And Ranger squad actually got killed. Tank destroyed down to Grenadiers with Panzerschrecks. And a bazooka has been left behind for Freestyler to pick up. My God. And sadly there was nothing here up on the flank to, take some territory away while all the rest were busy, fighting the Germans. I think that was a bit of a missed opportunity from Magpies to actually have delivered a bit more of a longer standing blow to Freestyler. Instead, now Freestyler does still have half of the map. He's still getting some resources to quickly get him back in the fight again. Although now his Volksgun is a bit equipped with a bazooka. I wish I had a Panzerschreck. Oh, shut up, Helmut. You always wish you had a Panzerschreck.
What are my coordinates?
Then it's moving up. Oh, Panzerschreck gets the anti-tank and it had not been repaired. Bit unfortunate there. And now again, Magpies is very low on everything. Another off-map combat group provides him with more infantry. A 30 caliber mortar and a tank destroyer. But will he be able to sustain him? And the MG still proving to be a bit of a bastard. 12 kills so far. Ostwind rolling forwards. And the Volkskriegs decided not to fight against the tank destroyer. They could have tried and make a run for this house perhaps and fought it back with bazookas. Then again, there's considerably more infantry following up, so that might have been less well advised. Ooh. Half track closer, getting blasted by the tank destroyer. Supply yard up, in fact, fully upgraded for Magpies. Definitely going to help with manpower and veterancy for his troops. Both sides a bit quiet. And a second flak going up. Freestyler not giving up on the idea that the flak might prove to be useful in stopping the Allied advance.
Losing a victory point. We are losing a victory point.
But clearly not the most well-equipped Kampfgruppe being sent out here from the 2nd Panzer Division. Still holding up nicely. Oh, Volkskriegs squad took a nice hit right there from the mortar, killing 3 of its members. Flak opening up, revealing its presence to the Americans. Riflemen in the west taking blasts from the Ostwind and his flak cannon. Ostwind taking considerable damage from the Rangers. 74-2 they're sending up, and we are seeing a heroic charge of fire up going on there from the Rangers, but now they do end up exhausted. Artillery getting called in straight on the MG and its Ostwind companion, taking out the repair pioneers, but nothing else. And we do see a bit of work for the victory points, trying to drain Freestyler. That's definitely going to be a bit of a nice move.
Anti-air panzer reporting. Over.
Freestylers fought a bit, rag, tag, a mix of everything. Not a lot of actual combat troops, mostly support units of some kind. But still pulling it off, pulling it off. Desperate fighting for the victory points. Magpies counterattacking in the west to retake the victory point there. Fighting in the centre. Volkskriegs is definitely not doing too well, and we are seeing rockets firing away. And we're seeing a Goliath rolling out. Oh! Counter-artillery on the mortar. Setting fire to the house, the roof, and everything else is on fire. Definitely not the place where you want to be residing at the moment. And looks like a rifleman squad went down completely to the might of the Ostwind Flak Panzer. Then it is though continuing to fight here. Half-Tech's pulling up to support. Ostwind moving in to support as well. And the Ranger force sneaking about on the right hand side. Some of them equipped with Thompsons, the rest not. Should be interesting, should be interesting. Likely, I imagine that Magpies is going to try and launch an assault from here. Perhaps strike at the flag with bazookas and strike at the rest here. Another banger going down for Freestyler, though. I wonder what that could be. And artillery going in right there against the Grenadiers. First shot kills one. Rest actually does more damage to the graveyard and those already dead. Ostwind got the mortar. Looks like another off-map combat group has arrived, providing anti-tank guns, riflemen, and some other fun things. The flak continuing to blast away, though actually not really doing a lot of damage at the moment. But it does serve as a, well, basically an area of denial weapon. since it pretty much ensures the Americans won't be moving in there unless they're feeling extremely confident. And there we go, just a ton of rockets unleashed right in that area. Most of it does nothing. And there we go, the Rangers are pushing in. They want that Austrian. If they can get the Austrian, that's definitely going to hurt. Freestyler consider we're seeing the Greyhound moving up, hitting the exposed anti-tank gun. This is a full-on assault. Austrian pulling back, German infantry pushing up. Bunker ist bereit. He could try and recruit the anti-tank, and he does. He actually sacrifices a rifleman squad on it. Greyhound continues onwards. Will he get the anti-tank gun up? Greyhound, though, needs to get away. Pack seems to be not moving. There we go, though. Rangers taking losses to the flank, actually, which kills one bastard there. Panzerkampfwagen rolling out, and we're seeing for the fatherland pop up again. Medics rushing out from the bunker to pick up the wounded as they appear right in front of their very noses. Rangers getting murdered. Panzer IV advancing straight into pack fire, though the pack seems to be unable to actually hit the broadside of a barn and gets wrecked by the Panzer IV. Bit of hiccuping from Fraps itself. There we go, anti-tank gun wrecked by combined bazooka Panzerschreck fire. Freestyler, though, is still a bit short, but at the same time he's... come on, Fraps. Well, this is not quite working out. Come on, Fraps. And my pardons for the technical difficulties. And again, apologies for technical difficulties. Apologies for any small bits lost. And there we go, Fraps is back on time. But again, I mean, Magpiesflight, again, another assault, and again, another brutal set of... It rather seems like Magpies is quite intent on delivering a knockout blow to Freestyler, but he's not quite there to achieve it. Partly because he wants to attack from the front with the infantry, instead of trying to pull off a larger flank, I think. And of course, there's still the flank 88 and a Panzer IV. Man, this episode is definitely not working out for as smoothly as it could have for me today. But there you go. Ivan pushing up the left side, Austin moving forwards. Panzer IV also blasting away. This being one of the later models, but not the latest model, because that actually had a slower turning turret, because that had to make way for a bigger fuel tank. And yes, indeed, while the Wehrmacht was lacking in fuel at that stage, for some reason, it was decided to give it a bigger fuel tank. Plus, they also switched out of the armoured skirts on it with something a bit more wire mesh, since anti-tank rifles at that stage were less of a problem. Bazooka.
Yeah, tap track, ready.
And there we go, Panzer IV rolling forwards. We do see Veteran D2 up, thus being an MG on top of the Panzerkampfwagen IV. Adding on a bit of considerable firepower right there. Tank destroyer quickly got sorted out as well.
Victory point capture.
Come on, Fraps. Or come on, hard drive, more likely.
Okay, Volksgrenadiers, we're back in the fight.
Ah, come on. And there we go. Seems Fraps is semi-stable again. Thank the heavens.
Ready for order. Army unit kaput. Ja,
Supply ant went down, thus cutting up Magpie supply. Benefit.
Volksgrenadier squad at full strength. Seized objective. No enemy in sight.
And rockets going in as well. An attempt going for the right hand side fails against the 30 caliber Browning machine gun tank for the Pioneers. Most of Magpie's base is falling apart. Another tank destroying another off-map combat group rolls out. Brutal engagement going on here. Horseman trying to get away. Panzer IV rolling up. Come on, Fraps. And back to trying, hopefully a bit more stably. And looks like restarting the computer did the trick. I probably should have done that earlier, but sometimes the frustrating things that happen can obscure what you actually need to do at a bit of time. So, well, definitely not the most fun episode to make in terms of that, but oh well. Still, been a brutal fight. Really some nice play. The ultimate problem, I think, for Magpies basically came about the fact that he tried to wield the force he'd constructed in a way that probably did not suit it very well. I mean, he had a large force of Rangers, engineers, other lots of things that perhaps, you know, weren't the most durable and certainly not meant for taking on direct offense, and he used it as a hammer when he probably should have been using it like a pair of daggers, striking at the side, sneaking in blows from behind at the flanks, and that never really came about, and that actually only played to the advantage of Freestyler in the long run, while he certainly also took some beatings. He was ultimately able to weather his way through it all with Panzers. And certainly in that sense, I think Magpies, again, while playing very aggressively, playing rather nicely, ultimately wielded the force he had in a manner less than useful. And of course, that's always, you know, remind, you know, be aware of what sort of force you have and how you're using it, because just because you have a lot of stuff does not mean you're necessarily going to have to pull off a frontal assault. In fact, quite the opposite. And Fult's ideas with the Bazookas are definitely not helping either. Tank destroyer almost down already. Panzers advancing, mostly flak Panzers, though. I think Panzer IV. Bazookas flying, but the Rangers simply cannot muster the firepower anymore to really stop them. And there we go, the tank destroyer went down. Artillery going down on the half-tanks, but the half-tanks just drive through, not caring. Rangers get mutilated and murdered downright, and that is largely it. GG, good luck, all that, and there we go. Game over. Again, I've largely come down with the reasons why Magpies failed. I mean, it was a rather aggressive start, but again, he then seemed to sort of try to use it in a way that probably was not very beneficial to it. That is, he was trying to use it as a direct assault force, and particularly the engineers were not really suited for that. He ended up losing a ton of them. The Rangers, all that he kept, you know, so all of a sudden resorting to brutal frontal assaults when he probably should have been trying to attack from as many angles as possible. His armoured cow rush, while again pretty interesting, ultimately failed again because, you know, tried to use it as a tank and had perhaps apparently not considered the opponent's response to, you know, not seeing an awful lot of those, except engineers might result in a pack response. Again, you know, that's sort of also the part of the game, you know, reading your opponent in the correct manner and then figuring out, okay, if he's doing that, then there's likely not going to happen this. I'll go for something else then to counter what I suspect is going to come. In this case, Freestyle's prediction was spot on. Magpies apparently did not consider it, and in that sense, he got punished for it. So, you know, there's more to it than just, you know, rushing forward. You also need to consider yourself, is there any chance that my opponent might see what I'm rushing for and quickly rush towards a counter for it? In this case, there was. So, I mean, there's also one of the things to consider, again, reading your opponent, and, you know, also ensuring you're not yourself as easy to read as a book, which perhaps was a bit the case here. And again, you know, having the force composition and then having the knowledge to use. In this case, I'm pretty sure, I mean, Magpies is no novice. He's a pretty damn good player, but in this case, I think, again, he misused the force he had. So, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Again, very, very much sorry for the technical difficulties, for the problems with all that. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, why not subscribe, tell your friends. If you didn't, well, why not send a replay of your own. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers and look forward to next week.